Hey guys, I am so excited for today's video. I could not wait to sit down and film this video. Honestly, from the second I saw the release photos, ColourPop just released a new eyeshadow palette. This one is their Blue Moon palette, and it comes with 9 different blue shadows. I've really been enjoying the 9-pan monochromatic palettes that ColourPop's been doing. If you guys weren't aware, they do have a couple of other options. They have a red one, a green one, a purple one, and I just think they're a fun, affordable way to add color to your makeup collection without spending a ton of money, and you still get really high quality shadows. So this palette retails for $12. It is available on their website right now. It comes with a mirror and then it comes with 9 shadows. So 4 of them are metallics. I think it's really nice because they're very easy to work with. They're very blendable, so you can layer them on the eye with your finger, you can blend them on the lower lash line, or you can blend them right up into the crease. Because they're not as metallic as some of the other ColourPop shadows, I find that they blend really easily, so it's nice for like a one eyeshadow look if you just want to place them all over the lid and then lightly blend them into the crease. The 5 matte shadows perform really well. I was actually surprised by how well some of them blended out on the eyes. I have tested all of them, but in today's video, I tested a few of them for the first time, and I was just really impressed by the palette as a whole. I think that blue eyeshadows can sometimes be a little bit difficult to work with, but this palette makes blue really approachable, really easy to use. So the only other ColourPop palette that I could really compare it to would be the Wet palette. This one was part of the ColourPop Bretman Rock collaboration. I'll swatch this one for you guys in case you are considering it. They both retail for $12. The Wet palette comes with 8 shadows and the Blue Moon palette comes with 9 shadows, but the shadows in the Wet palette are slightly bigger, if that makes a difference for you. Now, this is not a completely blue palette. It is a mainly blue palette. You get 4 blue shadows, 1 green, 1 silver, and 2 browns. I really love this palette. It would have to be one of my favorite ColourPop palettes of all time. I think it's a really nice option if you like to incorporate blue into your makeup routine, but you also like to balance it out with a couple of neutral colors. And if you prefer to balance out your blue shadows with a couple of neutrals, the Wet palette might actually be a more ideal choice for you. But if you love blue shadows and you just really want to add a bunch of blues, if you have enough neutrals in your collection already, I think the Blue Moon palette is going to be a great option. They both perform really well. I did purchase this palette myself, but ColourPop also sent me one in the mail as PR, so I thought I would do a giveaway for you guys just to be able to share the love and give back to you. I also have a couple of other ColourPop products that I've been saving for a giveaway, so I'll put all of the information in the description box below. It's always easy to enter my giveaways. I just want to say thank you to you guys, but let's jump into it and I'll do like the demo portion where I use the shadows on camera so you can see how they apply. Okay, so the only thing that I did was prime my eyes with an eyeshadow primer and then set everything into place with a matte shadow. I think I'm going to go for a pretty vibrant look today, so I'm going to take the shade Moonlight and use that as a transition shadow. Ooh. This is a lot more pigmented than I thought it was going to be. ColourPop shadows usually are pretty pigmented. So I do have some blue shadows in my makeup collection that I like, but I don't have a lot of lighter blues. So typically when I do a blue look, I either skip a transition color or I go in with like a cooler brown. So I like that they included some lighter blues in this palette. The shadow is a little bit powdery, but it is blending out so easily, which I appreciate. Sometimes blue shadows can be a little bit more difficult to work with, which is why I think they can be a little bit intimidating. Okay, I'm just going to take a little bit of the shade Starry Eyed, which is just slightly darker, and just focus that a little bit more in the crease. Kind of like right under that transition color. Again, this one is very, very pigmented, so you just have to be careful. And then, of course, I'm just going to do the same thing on the other eye. I'm going to take a little bit of the shade Fine China and blend that into the outer corner and then up into the crease. This blue shadow is really vibrant. So typically with colorful shadows and even just darker shadows in general, I like to pack the color onto the lid, not too intensely, but I just kind of pack it on and then lightly blend out the edges. Because if you take this and just try to blend it into the crease like I was doing with the other shadows, it's going to get all over the place. It's going to look a little bit patchy, a little bit messy. Something else that helps me with a shadow like this is to just pack it on and blend it and then keep blending that same shadow over and over without adding any additional product to the brush or the eye. Especially if it's a pigmented shadow like this one, just because if you add too much, it can get messy really quickly. And you would be surprised by how much product is actually on your brush if you just keep blending it out. So I try not to go in with too much product and just really blend what I initially lay down on the eye. Okay, and I'm just going to take this ColourPop brush and blend everything together before I go in with the metallic shadow. I was going to use the shade Mad About You, but I think I'm actually going to go in with Tide Pool just because I don't know, that vibrant blue is really calling my name. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. I'm literally just going to take it and pack it on the eye with my ring finger. I'm glad I went with this shade. This one is just a little bit brighter. So I'm really just focusing this on my lid. I start in the center and then I work my way to the outer corner, the inner corner. I might have to go in with a brush just to get like the very inner corner. But I didn't wet my finger or anything. I just applied it with my ring finger because that's how I think ColourPop shadows apply the best. And then I'm just going to apply it to the other eye as well. So I'm just going to take this brush that I was using before without any additional product. I'm just going to lightly blend out the edges. I like the shade Tide Pool because it's not overly metallic. It almost has more of like a satin sheen. It doesn't have any glitter mixed in, so it's kind of nice if you want to do like a one eyeshadow look. I think I'm going to take one of the more sparkly, glittery shades and layer it on top just to make it a little bit more fun, but I love this shade just all over the lid by itself. I'm actually just going to go in with a tiny bit of the shade Fine China, which is what I originally used in the outer corner, and just kind of apply that right to the very outer corner and up into the crease as well. Just because I lost a little bit of that color when I applied the lid shade, so I just want to apply a little bit more. I'm going to take the shade Lumi and just place that right in the center of the lid. This definitely just gives the eye a little bit more of like a wet look. You could totally use this as like an inner corner highlight, but I think the nice thing about, I don't know if this is technically a duochrome, the nice thing about these like transformer type shades is that even though it is like a 9-pan palette, if you take this shade and layer it on top of any of the darker shades, it's really just going to give you a completely different look. I originally said the center of the lid, but I kind of ended up taking it on the majority of the lid, just kind of leaving that outer corner. All right, let me just take a Q-tip and clean this up just a little bit. I did my base makeup ahead of time just because, I mean, I guess I didn't have to, but I was kind of curious to see if there would be any fallout. There's really no fallout. I think I'm actually going to take the ColourPop liquid liner in the shade Crazy, which is their blue liner, and I'm going to use that to line my upper lash line. I have to get so close to the mirror when I do my eyeliner, so I can't do it when I'm filming because I'll show you guys. I literally have to get this close to the mirror when I do my eyeliner. Okay, I'm going to take the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Prance and just run that on the waterline. This one's pretty bright, but I think because I went with a pretty bright look, this will be good. I'm actually going to take the Shimmer Shadow Tide Pool and run that on the lower lash line. Usually I go with a matte shadow, but if I'm doing like a pretty vibrant look, sometimes I'll take a metallic shadow and just use that to kind of match the lid. So we're just going to run that on the lower lash line. I really like this shade Tide Pool. It just blends so easily. So like I said, this would be the perfect shadow for like a one shadow look. If you just placed it all over the lid and then blended it up into the crease, it would take no time at all. I think I'm going to take a little bit of a darker liner. This one is the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade DTLA, just because I feel like I have a lot of like light blue going on, so I feel like I just need something a little bit darker. Okay, and then I'm just going to finish off the look by applying a ton of black mascara. This one is the new Flower Beauty Warrior Princess. I just think it makes your lashes super long and you can really layer it up if you want a pretty intense dramatic look. Okay guys, that is the final eye look. I just finished the rest of my makeup. The only other thing that I did to the eyes was take the ColourPop I Think I Love You palette and I took this matte shade and used it on the brow bone just to kind of blend everything together. And then I took the highlight shade right here and put it on the inner corner. Just because the ColourPop 9-pan palettes don't typically have what I would consider highlight shades. You could totally use this shade if that's what you want, but I usually just take those two shadows for pretty much any look that I do. So I definitely think this palette is worth checking out if you guys like blue shadow, if you want to add blue shadow to your collection. It's really easy to work with. So I think even if you are new to blue eyeshadow, this would be a great option to start with, especially because there's such a wide variety. So you can definitely do something really light, something a little bit more dramatic, or just add a pop of blue on the lower lash line. I know a lot of you guys are planning on picking this up. If you do grab it, make sure you let me know how you like it. I would love to hear your thoughts and I would love to see any looks that you create with it just so I can get some inspiration for additional looks. If you want to see another video or additional looks using this, I can definitely do that. I think it will be fun to play with, but I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye.